Hi, good evening. Welcome to Plan Fast Podcast, the choice hub for book reviews and crucial conversations. It's so good to be on the show today. It's so good to have you. And guess what? Today I have with me a very special guest on the show. Hello, Precious.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. Please introduce
Thank
yourself.
you.
Let our sweet people, our panthers, let them get to meet the amazing person that you are.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Precious Ukah, and I am a graduate of English language from the Lagos State University. I am currently serving at Delta, and what I do, I basically write.
If you
An,
can see
I'm
that
an
I brought
editor.
somebody from overseas for you people.
You can say that again. So I'm interested in writing, in editing. I do editing and proofreading. I also do social media management by the side. And I'm looking to pursue a career in media and communications.
Very nice. That's very impressive. It's good to meet you. I actually met Precious in less than 24 hours ago. I had a couple of friends that I wanted to talk to somebody about a very hot topic, trending, bullying, like what we saw at Lake Lead British School
The
in
British school.
Abuja. Exactly. So I was referred to Precious as the expert on this matter. So yes, let's hear you out. What has been when you what spurs you to talk about bullying? Have you had a bullying incident before?
Yes, I have. For the early stage of my life, I had experienced bullying, and I think that puts me in a place to discuss bullying.
Did this happen in school?
Yes, it did. It happened when I was in junior secondary school. Okay, so I attended a government school, like a public school, as we all know it. It was okay. Let me just retold the name of the school. So I was in GSS, and naturally, I am like a very I wouldn't exactly say shy, but I'm very reserved. So people kind of take it as me being shy and timid. But I don't know, maybe that's what they see as, but personally, I do not think that I'm that. But because I usually keep to myself a lot, and people would
Mm.
want to like put you to try to get things out from you. So that was how it all started with me. So I think it was in GSS 2,
Hmm.
thereabout. And there used to be this clique of girls, they'll just be together, mean
The cool
girls.
kids now.
Yeah, it's like literally everywhere, even in universities. But there would just be this clique of girls, maybe 4 or 5 girls that like the happening girls in class, and they would just start picking on people that they perceive as maybe small or maybe less privileged. But in that case, I wasn't less privileged, but it was more of small for me because I'm short. I'm not gonna lie about that. I was small.
You were
So,
of
and I didn't
appropriate height,
like,
humble height.
yeah, more like down to earth.
Interesting.
So yes. So I at the time it was a disadvantage because they would feel like, oh, this small girl, you're so small, and all of that.
Hmm.
So they were always picking on me. So my own story of bullying, or let me say my experience, is not exactly the kind of bullying that involved physical assault. Like I
Hmm.
was never beaten or slapped or anything, but it was more of a kind of competition. So they would be
Competition,
like,
like was it
what do you
verbal
have?
bullying?
Yeah, exactly. More of words, verbal bullying, exactly. So they would
And verbal
just maybe
bullying
during
is
break,
twice as damaging.
exactly. Like, do you get it?
Yeah.
So it's just that. And it will mess with your head so much that you begin to think low of yourself. So
Exactly.
when she says, "Oh, look at how ugly you are. Oh, look at your sandal is even this. Oh, why is your sauce torn?" All of those things, and you'd be there just feeling sorry for yourself and just wondering. Okay, so there was a time that they would ask that, "How much did you bring to school?" Food money, and they would ask, "Oh, she doesn't even have." So much, like so many snacks.
I'm with you,
Hello,
Precious.
yeah, can
I'm
you hear
with
me?
you.
Okay. So they would be monitoring what you eat and how
Interesting.
much it costs. And it was just like a very hard time for me at the time, but there was an intervention for
What
me. But
intervention
it
happened?
doesn't, okay. So I think there was this particular girl that, in every class there are just different people.
Mm,
There is the intelligent one, there is the noise maker, there's the troublesome one, there's the reserved one. So me, I fall under the category of the reserved one. But then there's this particular girl that used to just sit at the back of the class. She doesn't talk, but she was very muscular, like
mm.
she was tall, she had the
And
body,
she wasn't a bully,
so
or
she
importantly.
no, she wasn't. She wasn't able. She was like really calm and sweet. So she noticed what was usually going on. Like she noticed the tension between those girls. And it wasn't just me that these girls were always
Mm,
picking on. They would just pick on random people that
mm.
they feel they can just get, like they can get over with it. So they would always be on the lookout for someone that is alone, someone that is just
Interesting.
by them, because yes. So at the time, like I did have so much friends because I was new in the school. And just because I wasn't exactly friendly like that, and as a JSS too, I had not really had much friends. So I was usually like by myself. So
Mm.
they would look out for those people that are usually alone and
Vulnerable
go and
people.
they outnumbered me.
Wow.
So then this girl was always seeing this kind of bullying, and there was a day so there was a scenario that these girls now started accusing me of something. I don't exactly remember the details, but they were accusing me of something else, and I was saying I didn't do it. I knew my voice was very small, and I had
Tiny.
this very tiny voice. Yes, so I said I didn't do it. Now, why are you saying I did? I didn't do it. They said you were there, and their voice always be very loud,
And
and
overpower
it's
you.
always overshadowing your own voice before you are able to say this that you know.
They would
So
have
and
said
also the
them.
girl, yes, they would have said 10. So this gentle girl now came. I was like, what happened? So she came to me and I was trying to explain. And me, one thing with me is like I'm very like emotional. So before I could even start explaining anything, there was already tears and all of that.
Oh,
And so the girl so the girl was now looking and facing them and was like, what did she do? She said she didn't do it. Why are you attacking her? She was like, hey, I saw her, she did it. When did you see her? She confronted them. And judging from the height and the fact that she was big, they know that they could not even take on her, even if they were to fight or anything. So she
she
was
will
like,
do
I dare
smack
you people to
down for
touch her.
them.
Right. So it even went as far as she daring them that, okay, if that
If they
kind of,
born
if
you
they born
well.
you that kind of talk, so if they born you touch her, and then she drew a line on the floor. I can never forget that
Oh
incident. Like that
shit,
was the
I
incident
like
that,
that.
yes, that was the incident that like gave me the liver. You needed to see me at the back of this girl, like, yes.
All of a sudden your voice will become thick.
Exact. My tears dried up immediately. So that
Wow.
was just it. And ever since, the girls were like, maybe we are just playing with you. They not changed mouth.
Plain.
We are just playing with you. But they don't know the gravity of what
Okay,
they
no,
were doing.
trust
They
me.
didn't know how hurtful it was, and all of that.
So let me
And so
unpack
ever
your,
since,
yeah, I'm listening. Ever since
okay.
then.
Ever since they never came to me for anything like that, because they knew that girl
This,
would always
this your
behind
story is
me.
an Inzaboski one, no? Anybody that did not leave, that just this one is in the middle. The person should go back and listen very well. And
Yes,
well,
yes,
so
yes.
let's unpack.
And I've had
I'm
okay.
listening. Go on, please. Please go on, Precious. I'm listening.
And actually, I don't know, I guess we're like out to just do anything that they wanted to do at that point. And me, because me just being me at the time, I wasn't going to report that. I wasn't going to report that. I wasn't going to speak out. So I would have
Oh,
just been dying in silence. And at some point, I was even scared to go to school. If everybody, school is supposed to be like your happy place, you're happy to be in
yeah.
school. And, for me, it wasn't that. So I was always,
For you, in your
this
own
girl still.
opinion. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about
But
everything
ever
you
since
went through.
that confrontation, it's I'm over it now.
So ever
Yeah.
since that
So
confrontation, they did not really bond them well. In the actual
they
sense
did
of it,
not
they did not
assure
bond
at
them
all.
well. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
they never disturbed me. I don't know if they changed victims, but they never disturbed me again.
wow. So let me unpack your story with the eyes of a
Yeah.
teacher, an educator, a consultant, and someone that
Okay.
is involved in cases like this. Number one, I want to give
All
kudos to
right.
that girl. So I'm not trying to look nice, right? I'm not trying to look like a good girl, right? But actually, my
Yeah.
parents taught me to be like that lady. You know me? If you know me,
Mm.
actually, I'm tall. Like for a lady, and even for taller than a lot of.
Oh,
I'm tall, and I have
yeah.
never been. Some people when you see their throwback pictures.
Like how tall? 6 feet,
No, I'm
five
not. I'm not up
feet.
to 6, but I'm a good height. You can ask the Mister L.
Oh, okay.
When you see me, say go fear.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I'm a good height, really. Yes, I'm a good height, and since
Okay.
when I was small, I've never been a slim person. You understand? I've never been fat. I've never been
Mm.
chubby, but you just know
Yeah.
that I talk well. You
Mm.
understand that kind of thing?
Generously.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I had the height advantage. I used to think that people
Mm.
used to bully people because they were small. But I handled a couple of cases in the
Mm.
past, a couple of cases in the past, like 3, 4 years. I realized that even sometimes they bully people because they are tall. They'll be calling them agali, calling you.
Mm.
Yes, say you're long.
Wow.
They'll be bullying them verbally. So bullying can happen to
Right.
any child.
Yes. Yeah.
There's one
Not
thing.
necessarily because you're short or down
Nah,
to earth in my case.
maybe you're more susceptible, you're more prone when you're short,
Yeah.
but it can happen to
Yeah.
any child whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even intelligent
Mm.
students are bullied for saying the answers in class.
Mm.
It's crazy
True.
out there.
True.
So,
Yeah.
so one thing that my mom taught me, my mom will say, "You are an Oyo girl. Omo ale Oyo ni o mo esi. Now only bastard pikin you go talk to. You don't know the reply we go give you." One time, one
Right.
one girl in my class was bullied for being what the person was like my peer group, but we're not going to the same school. So because the person knew
Okay.
how me I used to talk and my siblings, the person now came to my mom's
Mm.
studio to come and meet my mom. Their mommy, they're saying I'm short. Do you know what my mom told the person? My mom said,
What?
when they tell you are short, tell them that in old age, because they are tall, their skeleton will age before your own. And before you know it, they'll start bending to walk.
Wow.
That was the response my mom gave me. Like I gave that girl rather, and they never bullied that child. So I really
Mm.
think, I really, 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 really think, I really, really think that I really think that we need to empower kids from home and talk about bullying. My sister's
Yes.
child, right? When he was like
Very,
one
very
plus,
important.
one plus, he was playing football in the compound, and the neighbor's child just voila, just gave him one slap. The boy not allowed the matter rest.
Hmm.
Immediately the slap was coming. He gave the boy bam, one blow, 24 die. The boy fell down. And my friend came to see me and my sisters, so we're talking about it. I said that's the correct thing to do. You should have your child should not
Mm.
be spoken. I understand that there are different temperaments. Some kids are more likely to
Yeah,
talk.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
kids are emotional, like you
Yes,
said, like
yes,
emotional. I
yes,
grab.
yeah, yeah.
But we should encourage our kids. You understand? See,
Mm.
even as you're working, don't you have adults that bully you?
Yes. So this bully, and the funny thing is that it doesn't just happen in schools, or it happens even in your workplace.
You don't understand. As I am like this in my 30-year-old life, I'm 30. I went for a meeting last
Oh.
year. I keep talking about it. It was only men in the meeting. The man thought I was the secretary of
Hmm.
the person that came, and they didn't even know that the person that we
Can
came
you
together worked
imagine?
for me. And I was even the one holding the money wanted to pay.
Wow.
Yes. The man thought I was the secretary, and I played it
Plot
cool.
twist.
When it was time to pay, he said, now my madam be that now.
Oh.
Bullying happens even to adults. You have to, it's a
Yes,
skill. It's
yes,
a, we talk about intrapersonal skills, our self-esteem,
yeah,
self-confidence, and
yeah.
interpersonal skills. It's not something we should
Interpersonal,
look
yeah.
away from. We should learn how to empower our kids to stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
Even as adults.
Funny thing is,
I'm listening. Go on, please.
so the reason why the whole issue with bullying came up was that my roommate asked me what I would do if I were to be a parent and my child comes home and says that someone bullied him or her. And she asked that, how would I train my child? Would I train my child to be quiet and just come and report? Sometimes when they experience bullying, like maybe someone hits them or slaps them, they'll just say, I'll tell my mommy, and then they'll go. Or
Mm.
I would train my child to fight. And my husband was like, you will be beaten in school and you come home and tell me, are you joking? You have to fight. Then when you now come back and
We'll
say, why
discuss
did
it.
you fight? It looks very, very in that was scary, but then they have to fight for themselves, because what if you are not there? How would they stand up for themselves? They have to learn how to fight for themselves. So it might not necessarily be fighting like physically, but they should talk back,
Verbally.
because bullying thrives in silence. When somebody tries to bully you and they see that, oh, you're just being quiet, it will give them more morale that, oh, okay, you're just
Imagine
being
that
quiet, and
lady
then
did
they'll
not
keep
speak
talking.
out for you that time.
Yes, yes. So it happens like that. Once you don't talk, or once you're trying to be stammering or doing anything like that, oh, you are giving them another ground to just intensify the bullying. But when they see that, even if you cannot fight, you just talk. I have a sister like that. She's not like we are like the same height, but you cannot talk to her anyhow. She can't fight. I'm sure she cannot fight, but she can fight with her mouth. Nobody can. I'm not sure she has ever been bullied. She's always like the one standing for me. There was even a time we were going to school together, and there was this man that tried to. It was, well, I would call it bullying, because the man was trying to like talk to her and like tell her, why are you doing that? What is wrong with you? That kind of, and she was so like, what? What? Who do you know who I am? And then she was just saying all of the things that she wasn't. I'm like, please, so because I'm like the calmer one. I'm like, please, let's not get beaten. Let's just go. Just like, no, no, I want to show you, teach him a lesson. I said, and this man is like obviously bigger. Even if he came to fight and everything, was clearly going to beat her. But then she didn't let that deteriorate. She didn't let it like make her feel less of herself or anything. Not like she had any plan B, but she just wanted to give off the impression that you can't bully me. I'm not gonna be quiet and you talk down at me like that. So I believe that when you're trying to like avoid this bullying of it, you need to be able to speak for yourself, fight for yourself, even if it's through words first. And then maybe when it gets to the physical aspect, maybe the physical also aspect, maybe the fighting hand, then there could be an intervention or so, but at least do something for yourself, because help will not come immediately. So what do you do when you don't get help immediately? would you just sit there and just listen to all of the ways in which you are not good? Because
Secondly,
these people, they have,
yeah, I feel low.
yeah,
Yeah, except these people, they feel like what they are untouchable. Abi.
yeah, and they have a way with words too.
They know
They
how to
know how
say the right
to,
things that'll mess with somebody's
yes,
head
yes. And then you go home and then you'll be crying and
and be thinking
start
about it.
thinking
So
about
that
it.
girl
Yeah.
that was bullied never said to a teacher, said it to a teacher, never said it to the parent. Nah,
Wow.
you should be able to at least say something. You know, there's something to say in
Yes.
my house. Once I'm coming back home, as I'm dropping my bag, I'm telling you what happened from the moment I step outside in the morning. You must share the gist. Because when you understand,
Yes.
when you hear everything, we understand. You parents have
Yeah.
to be. I also
Encourage their
saw
kids.
I
Yeah.
also saw a write-up online of somebody that I know was saying that the person went to buy, so she went to buy something at night for the mom, and then some boys were gathering. It was around 11 p.m. Some boys just came and
Hmm.
fondled her breast and went away. She never said it to her
What?
parents. Yes,
Oh my
she never said it to
God.
her parents. So for me, I'm like, what's happening in the home? Why is the child not talking? I mean, my child should be able to. A parent called me yesterday. I've had conversations about this little British thing that
Yeah.
is bringing up a lot of
Okay.
things. Yes,
Yeah.
a parent called me yesterday and we're talking. She was like, somebody tried to bully her child. The boy removed in school, oh, the boy removed
Yeah.
seat from the girl's butt as she wanted to sit. So
Ah.
the girl fell down.
Wow.
And as the girl fell down, the boy now slapped her
I
again.
started laughing.
The boy,
Oh
the
my
boy now slapped
God.
her again. She just gave the guy. So the guy was shocked that she could slap her own back.
Mm-hmm.
So
He will never try it again.
exactly. Speak up for yourself. Number two, ensure always that you talk to an adult. And in this issue of
Yes.
adults, your parents, you understand, so they
Yeah.
can come and report to school. And then to be sincere with you, these days, teachers, especially in private schools, they're not doing a good job. I'll tell you the truth. My noble
Mm.
colleague, our noble colleague, she's a teacher at the moment. They're not doing a good job with that in that respect. Do you know why I'm saying
Uh,
that? Because
Why?
in lots of private schools, even public schools, you can't cane a child. The kids really know you can't do anything to them.
Yes, that's true.
You
That's
understand?
true.
You can't do
That's
anything to
true.
them. So even when you report to a teacher, the teacher can say you are reporting too much. Even if in some instances, I heard
Hmm.
some teachers will say you're a mommy's girl. You're always telling your mommy everything. You're telling your
Mm.
parents. So the body language of the teachers too is very bad because we told them not to beat our kids. We told them not to discipline them. So the kids really don't fear their teacher. That's only fear and trembling
Yes.
we had
Yeah.
for our teachers. They don't have it anymore. And now nothing happens
It
really.
it wasn't always like this. I mean, during my time, I'm not exactly old, but during my time, hmm, beating was a very scary thing. Like so many punishments were there, but like beating was something that was a go-to punishment.
Mm.
Once you do anything or you disobey the rules or you do anything wrong, beating, you would be beaten, you would be flogged. Is a very so it kind of put a check to our behaviors. But now that you're very correct in that aspect of private schools, not because I but in my school where I teach, we are allowed to flog actually, but not too much. You are allowed to flog. You can also punish. But I know of other schools that they are not even allowed to flog them at all. So the children can misbehave and know that okay, well, nobody will flog me. It's just word of mouth, and if you talk and you're tired, you keep quiet. Something like that. And it's very, very wrong because how are you going to inflict or okay, let me not put how are you going to
Instill.
teach, instill, yes. How are you going to instill values and all of this? Is even the Bible says that train up a child in the way you should go. There is foolishness in the hearts of these kids. It is that rod that would take it out. And if you now say, okay, you can do it with only word of mouth, fine. But the Bible's already puts it there that you need to use the rod. And the rod represents the cane in my own understanding. It's the cane. There is literally no way that you want to just talk at all, because some children, they won't listen until they've seen that cane. So
I understand that we may
banning
not necessarily use
corporal
pain and
punishment.
everything, but at least some kind of, let's be able to do something to this child. Let's be able to correct.
Yes.
Goes a long way.
Yeah, it should be in moderation. Everything should just be in moderation. Punishing them doesn't mean that you would not flog them, maybe till they not pass out or something. But let there be some kind of punishment. Let there be some kind of punishment to what you're doing, like a cause and effect thing. Like if you do this, you will get this.
Exactly.
But
I think that's another
but
point as well, because
yeah.
you see people, like in that video. We did a video yesterday on Pampers, that you see the
Okay.
girl in question was kneeling down.
Yeah.
I mean, after you beat a child, you're now kneeling down. From where to where? Kneeling down will not catch it. It's not going to cut it at all, at all, at all, at all, at all, at all.
Oh my
Kneeling down will
god.
not catch it. I am schools need to like, yes, I agree. Yes, have an anti-bullying policy. And I would always say this: don't go and download something online for one school that is not in your context. And part of the things that policy says is the teachers, like the bullying people. Like for instance, at one of the schools I attended, we knew that our intro tech teacher was a no-nonsense person, was a beating person.
Yes.
You understand? You know, you
Yes.
have teachers
Yes.
that is like the one in home economics teachers used to be the ones that they were in charge of grooming. They'll check her nails on the assembly, they'll check her hairstyle,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
did
Oh,
aberration.
okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
But you need to have
Yeah.
teachers that are anti-bullying, like police,
Yes.
that kind of thing,
Yeah.
literally. And then
That will handle those bullying cases.
yes, so you know that these particular teachers are the teachers that are really in charge of it, and they are like saddled
Yeah.
with the responsibility of like
Yeah.
attending to bullying
Monitoring. Yeah.
exactly. And in that anti-bullying policy, part of things should contain is that compulsorily consequences for actions need to be stated. You slap another child,
Yes.
like 25 slap,
Yes.
and
So it will serve as a deterrent so other people. If you use one person as a scapegoat, others will learn.
exactly.
Others will
Exactly.
learn. Yeah.
Exactly. So this recording is okay, all right. It's going to be up in like 10 minutes, so we may have to wrap up our conversation. If we want to, we can
All
turn
right.
it to 2 episodes. So. Okay. So yes, I think that is very important that as parents, right, we have, as our schools, we have anti-bullying policy, we have like teachers in
Yeah.
charge of it, and it clearly states out like what they call it. It clearly tells us where to, like the consequences of for actions and all of those.
Okay. The action.
Um, and then we said something
It's
before.
a check.
Yes, we should educate our students as well. We should make sure we're educating our students, like these kind of things, like the child that is standing, like that child that stood for you. What can you do? You can tell the person to
Yes.
stop. Like even if you know the person can beat
Yeah.
you
Always
can just
stand up
say
for.
stop touching her, and you run away and you go and call a teacher. You well
Yes.
now.
Yeah. We should always. You see, everything still boils down to speaking out, whether you're the one being bullied or not. If you experience or you witness a bullying scene, don't just take it in or
See
just
something, say
watch.
something.
Yes, yes, yeah,
And then we
very
should
true. And
monitor
then
our
the home
hotspot in
front is
school.
very important. Like it plays a very vital role
What's
to
that?
this whole bullying. The home front, like the
Exactly.
house, like what you're being taught, because you cannot come from a home where your parents are always telling you do not do this, do not do that, and then you want to do it. Only it's very rare. So sometimes some parents even encourage this bullying of a thing.
Some
Some
parents are
parents
bullies
encourage.
themselves, they bully their
Yes.
drivers and their staff.
Yes.
I
So
would
when they
like
see it, they would also feel like it's a good thing and they will go to school and do the same thing.
exactly, very, very
So
important.
the home
So
front it plays a very vital role in the whole bullying
exactly.
thing.
Exactly. Very, very, very important. Because when you're bullying a child, it can lead to depression for the child as well. Like as you said,
Yes.
anxiety too. Imagine a child that imagine that a child that is being bullied. Like you said,
Bullied
the
in
child may not
school,
want to
yeah.
go to school, social withdrawal, and then before
Go
you
to
know
school.
it, you're supposed to
Yes.
be having anxiety.
Yes.
You're supposed to be in
Yes.
math class, and then you're looking back and because one baller can just come and give you bad blows at the back.
Mm.
That's really sad. Um,
Yeah. It will even affect the grades of the child, the performance.
exactly. It
Yeah.
doesn't do, and even long into the future, like it will just keep showing up in that child's life and messing up with the child's head and all of those things. Verbal bullying,
Yeah.
emotional bullying. One of the things we need
Yes.
to
And that's where that
train.
TSB comes in.
Exactly. One of the things we need to tell kids about, you understand, like educate kids. Like during PTA meetings, I wonder what people say to parents. I hope it's not that it's fine that people are doing in PTA meetings and complain. Like one of the things that we have
Yeah.
always encouraged parents things to happen in a PTA meeting. You have to train, train, train parents on how to identify bullying. Bullying can be very subtle, so one parent told me, let me quickly tell you, one parent told me that she told the child to write goals for the term. And then she now just opened another page of the child's jotter. And the child was writing a note to herself, ranting about somebody that used to
Yeah.
compare her to another child in school. So, that's a way of recognizing that there's something happening in that situation. And the mother had to intervene. And thank God everything is fine. So we need to, please, or if you are a school, or even if it's not a proper school, like even if it's a swim school, you need to, maybe you're having a parent teachers conference, you can invite us at Plan Congo to actually come and do trainings for you on recognizing bullying and on topical issues in education instance. We'll bring our team of experts to come and talk about the topics for you, and you would really, really, really enjoy it. Yeah, so just thought to mention that. Precious, as we are running up, do you want to give a word to a child that is experiencing bullying at the moment, or an adult that experienced bullying before? Can you just tell us in 3 minutes a word to a child that's currently experiencing bullying or an adult that's experienced bullying?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello, hello, Precious. Welcome back. You were going to
Thank
give us
you.
a word to a child that is currently experiencing bullying or that has experienced bullying before.
Okay. So, yeah, so the first thing that anybody should do, like anybody that's a victim of bullying, is to speak out. And this is what we have been hammering on. It cannot be overemphasized. It's when you speak up that you can get help. If you don't talk about it, nobody will know what is going on with you. Yeah. So the first step to receiving help is speaking out. Then try to avoid there's something called hotspot. So in every school, I believe it happens with secondary schools. So there's a particular place where it is believed to like be dangerous. Yeah. So it's a very quiet place. Anything can happen around that place. That's usually where bullies lay like they waylay their victims. So if you know that you're prone to bullying or like you're a victim, you need to avoid all those places that are called the hotspots because anything can happen and you might not get help immediately because it is a place where not so many people pass through. So before one person is passing, they might have done what they want to do and escaped before you get
Wow.
help. So as much as possible, try to avoid all those places, all those secluded places when you're
Hmm.
going on, and try to always work in groups. If you know that you're prone to this bullying thing or you're a victim yourself, try to work in groups. So have like a group of friends that you can always work with, that you can be with most of the time. Like bullies don't strive when there are a lot of people. It's usually when you're alone. They always try to pick at you when you're alone.
Hmm.
So as much as
Someone,
possible, try to
someone
be
just sent
around.
in a message to our official line to say that Abi, did she collect the person's boyfriend?